or have done business with you. That's number 3. Number 4, parents of a friend or a child. Parents of a friend or a child. Okay, if you have small children, think about your children's friends' parents, okay? Number 5, anyone that you've done any type of contracts to generate any type of real estate business. Most of you probably have not done any real estate transactions, but for the few of you that have done real estate transactions, you know, anyone you've done business in the past, you know, you want to reignite, re-engage those conversations. Number 6, people in your community, associations, or any religious associations. People in your community, any associations or religious associations, okay? That's a great avenue to generate business. Okay. Now let's break it into a little bit more of a segue here, okay? Out of those 6 different platforms, let's really break it down. Who do you know that's going through a life event that might need to move? Okay, think about that. Who do you know that's going through a life event that might need to move? If you really think about that, you know, it can be so many different parameters. Right now with the low interest rate, you know, certain people are living on small apartment complex. They're very tight. They need more space. They need a backyard for the children to play. So many different things. So right now, if you really just think about it, you know, who can be in a position that is alter their life events right now that you can have a conversation with? The other breakdown. Who do you know that does not have a real estate agent working with? Okay. Now, there's a lot of people that have some type of relationship with some agent. But if you know someone that does not, having a conversation with them is crucial. Number 3, who have you not spoken with in the last 3 weeks? So someone that in the last 3 weeks that you're consistently speaking with, maybe you haven't talked to them, maybe you need to have that conversation, or the last month, or the last 3 months, or 6 months. Here it is, folks. This phone here, I don't know if you can see my phone. There it is. So here, if you have an iPhone, you can scroll down into your contacts way at the very bottom of your iPhone, if you have an iPhone. For me, I have 1,878 contacts on my phone itself. Almost 1,900 people on my phone. Now, that's a lot of contacts. Not all of these are buyers and sellers. This is a combination of a lot of people, colleagues, agents, business owners, restaurants, family, brother, sister, parents, you know, affiliates, people I've done business in the past. There's a lot of people. But if you spend a couple hours just going through the list of your contacts, there's probably 1 or 2 people in there that are probably in need of your service. I don't need you to be on the on a call 24/7, right? I don't need you to be on a call 24/7. But what I need is for you to break down the contacts, so that way you can at least have a base foundation and a purpose of why you're doing what you need to do. Okay, because for me, 1,800 people is a lot of contacts that I can probably right now spend a good couple hours in just making conversations. Okay. Now, real estate is like a wave. Okay. What do I mean by the waves? Okay. If in order for you to have a consistent in your business, and the commitment that I said earlier that you need to close one transaction per month, okay? And that's one commitment per month. The goal is for each and every one of you, and that includes Richard, Yona, Debbie, Max, Elise, Anna, Jim, and the rest of the group here, is that the commitment is for you to do one transaction per month. One transaction, that's all I'm asking you to commit. But it would be very exciting that you come back to me and say, hey, Simon, guess what? I have 3 that I open escrow, 3 that I'm going to be closing in the month of December, 3 that I'll be having a commission coming in. Now, that's going to set you apart because, one, you are ahead of the game, you stay diligent, you stay consistent, and you ultimately stay proactive in your position. You devote it to your schedule, and that's what I commit to each and every one that you need to commit to, is that you commit to your daily task and your responsibility, because if you fall short, then we're going to be having a conversation and then ultimately a decision if you're going to stay in this position of a salary base, or if I'm going to have to release you, okay? Now, the beauty is, even though I'm giving you a base salary, right, of $200,000 annual income, but I'm still giving you bonus incentives. And those bonus incentives is that any extra commissions or any extra closings that you do, that's going to be your money as well. So on top of your $16,600 per month that I commit to giving you, you still have an incentive and bonus coming your way, any other transactions that you close. So why wouldn't you want to commit to ultimately making more deals? Because if I was to put you all on a competition, head to head, all of you on this call, and we have about 18 so far on the call, but if I was to put 18 of you on a competition, right? And I gave you all the responsibility I mentioned to you, everyone that is committed here, everyone gets a $200,000 salary. Everyone starts off at the same. Start January 1st or January 2nd of 2021, and every 2 weeks you'll get your salary. But the goal is to ultimately get one transaction. Now, as I mentioned, the wave, right? And a lot of real estate agents, unfortunately, have those waves. They have their peaks and then they have their lows. They have their peaks and they have their lows. And what I see a lot in real estate is this. I see a lot of real estate entrepreneurs make a killing 1 month, and then they slow down the following month because they've generated enough income to support themselves. Guess what? I've been in that position too. I've been in that position where I get comfortable with the income that I've made. I remember 1 year, my best year, I made in 1 month, ladies and gentlemen, and not to brag, but in 1 month, I made almost $225,000. 1 month, $225,000. So this was back in 2004, 2005, if I remember correctly. That was the biggest and the highest commission that I've ever made. And when I got that commission from escrow, I was like, wow. I even took a photo of it with my Razor phone back in the day. And I'm not here to brag, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm just telling you from my personal perspective and what I did as a young real estate agent. That was the biggest sale of my career. But I got complacent. I got comfortable. And ultimately, that money went that quick. Because I thought, well, I have so much money in my bank account. There's no need for me to get back into work. I can flow with this. If business comes my way, okay, so be it. If not, I have a comfort amount that can take me through a couple months, several months. The unfortunate perspective of that is Money goes quickly, money goes fast. And because of my way of thinking back then, I stopped. I was focused on other stuff when I should have been focused on what I needed to be focused in order for me to have a consistent in my business. The problem was I was having these roller coaster rides throughout the beginning of my career because I would make a great month and then I would slow down for a couple months and then I would have a great month because when I was running low on funds, then I was rushing to get more business. You know how stressful that was for me? But at the time, I didn't know any better. All I'm saying here, ladies and gentlemen, is get that foundation, get that structure, get that momentum going to have a consistent business. Because I don't want you to have this, because roller coasters are fun. Don't get me wrong. You know, the anxiety, the pressure of getting to the top of the roller coaster ride, and then the excitement when you come down. But then when you're at the bottom, that momentum, that feeling goes away. And that's what real estate is that up and down momentum. Look at some of the top agents in our industry, in our office. They have a consistent business. Because if you set your goals and your expectations, like all of you should have already for 2021, then you know what your base is. Now you want to be or exceed those expectations. And how do you do it? Is going back to your lead generation, folks. You got to lead generate. And I know a lot of us do not like to do that. I know for a fact a lot of us don't. But we wait and hope that someone is going to call us to say, hey, Simon, you know, I think I'm ready to sell my property. Hey, Simon, you know, I know that the rates are super low. I think we're ready to buy. We're tired of renting. Guess what? The agents that are lead generating are going to penetrate and hit your clients or your contacts. And at that moment or instant, it's going to trigger that spark where now that client, potential client of yours is going to go in a different direction. And when you make that initial contact, you may be too late because they're already working with another buyer, or excuse me, with another agent or selling their home with another company. When you would have had that opportunity, I'll commit and I admit I've been guilty to that. I've lost a lot of business because I've been complacent and not checking in with my people. And when I call or when I see it on the multiple listing, hey, that's my friend's house. They ended up listing with someone else. You know how frustrating that is? You know how devastating that is that your own friends, colleagues, or some relationship, they go in a different direction. I've had family members know that I'm in industry and do real estate, have gone in different directions. Why? It's because someone has made the initial contact with them. It's not you personally. It's nothing against you, ladies and gentlemen. It has nothing to do with you. It's the mere fact someone was there at the right time, at the right place. And it triggered them to ultimately the motivation to buy or sell. I'm telling you from my personal experience, I've had family members sell their homes to another agent, knowing that I've provided them with valuable information, comparable market analysis, advice, and guidance. But I've checked out. I haven't checked in. Someone happened to fall into that time where they needed someone, and unfortunately, I was not in that position there, and they ended up going a different direction. So all I'm saying here is you got to be consistently lead generating, family, friends, colleagues, co-workers, and running for new business as well. Now, one of the components that I say is, how do you stay on top of mind throughout the cycle, right? How do you stay on top of mind of someone that may be looking into buying in the next few months or possibly thinking of selling in the next few months? How do you stay on top of mind with your clients? Well, the beauty is you have it with command. You have the platform, you have the lead generating, you have the website, you have email, you have everything that is necessary for you to ultimately do what we call a touch, a drip campaign, a landing page, a smart plan, and to be engaged with the conversation. If you're not utilizing command to help you, that's like your virtual assistant without paying for a virtual assistant can be done systematic, folks. Because once you start putting information into your database and then start implementing drip campaigns, everything will do systematic. The system will allow, the algorithms will allow you to send out emails, send out drip campaigns to your clients. If you have just simple information of your clients, their emails, their names, their phone numbers, maybe an anniversary date or a birthday, something to have something concrete in order for you to send out these concrete, because your platform should be already done. Your profile should be already done. Your photo should be already done. Now it's just sending out those campaigns so that way you're on top of mind to your clients. Because again, if you have 2, 3, 4,000 people on your contact, and let's just say you don't even have that many people, but you have 500, that's a lot of people still that you're probably going to miss. Now, a lot of the components that we're going to be talking about, throughout the entire Ignite program, folks, is very simple, okay? Is you also have to be in compliance, okay? You got to be in compliance. Now, I talk about you got to lead generate, right? Which is the foundation to your business. But also you got to be in compliance with that. And part of the chapter we also have to discuss is, the do not call list, okay? So you got to understand, if you're going to generate business through lead generations, making phone calls and hitting, sphere of influence, past clients, new business, for sale by owners, expired listings, whatever the case may be, you got to also understand, as business owners that you're also under the category of compliance when it comes to the do not call list. Okay, so some of the rules that you understand is that, if someone does fall under the do not call list, we have to acknowledge, you have to bring it to our attention, and then we have to be able to respond back to them that we will remove them from our list, okay? Because not just the company, but yourself can get into a complaint and ultimately into a fine. So I want to make sure that everyone on this call understands that, it's not like it used to be. Now, the do not call list has been done for many, many years, I think since the 80s, 90s, and early 2000, but now they're really cracking down with a lot of real estate companies and making sure that we fall under the guidelines and the restrictions of the state and federal laws when it comes to consumer request, okay? And who are the consumers? Anyone that you're calling, and that includes businesses as well, ladies and gentlemen, that we want to make sure that you're up to date, that if there is someone on the do not call list, that you remove them, you let the office know, and it's a very simple email that you can send out to us saying that, the name of the person, the phone number, and that this person falls under the do not call list. So that way we can send out an email blast to the entire office on any do not call registry consumers, okay? Now, what are some of the exemptions when it comes to the do not call? Now, anyone that you're inquiring, the rules permit calls to a consumer following an inquiry. So if someone inquires and someone reaches out to you, then that's perfectly fine for you to reach out to them. If you have written permission as well, if you fall under that category where someone is giving you authorization, it has to be in writing. And then ultimately, if it's an established business where you have that relationship, right? If you have that relationship with the consumer, let's say it's your cleaners, it's your barber, it's your hair or your nails, whatever the case may be. If you already have that establishment and that business relationship with them, then you don't fall under the do not call list because you already have that relationship and you can ultimately position yourself in respect to that. Okay. Any questions so far? It's a lot of information, right? All right, so let's talk about some of the scripts, okay? Some of the scripts that you can use with your sphere of influence, okay? So, for me is in the beginning, when I started real estate, is I was thrown this database of documentation. Here, Simon, start making calls and just start connecting with people. Now, they also gave me some trigger cards. And these trigger cards were scripts. And these scripts were basically an introduction of what to do, what to say, and how to handle objections. Because a lot of people are very uncomfortable making initial cold calls. A lot of people are uncomfortable prospecting and door knocking. A lot of people don't like picking up the phone. They rather go through a different avenue and a different approach in connecting with people. Now, this is why it's very important, ladies and gentlemen, to understand the fundamentals of real estate, because once you get very acquainted to real estate, the confidence level will just skyrocket for you. And it starts with a very simple conversation. It's what we call breaking the ice. Okay, and how do you break the ice? Okay, very simple. You don't talk real estate. Now, especially if it's your sphere, right? You don't talk real estate. It's really your spheres. And I'm going to share something that I have here, and I'm just going to repeat it verbatim, okay? This is straight from the Ignite program that I'm conducting, but it just starts with the fundamentals of what we called Ford, F-O-R-D. Write this down, Ford. Like the company Ford, F-O-R-D. Okay, so let me know once you have it. Thumbs up when you have written Ford. Okay, so what does the Ford stand for? Okay, so Ford stands for one, F stands for family. O starts with occupation. R starts with recreation. And then D stands for dream. Family, occupation, recreation, dream. Family, occupation, recreation, dream. So how's the family? Are you still working at? Are you still enjoying? Did you ever pursue that? So that's the component that you have to, when you're hitting your sphere, is hello, this is Simon. Hi, how you been? How's the family? Wonderful. Hey, are you still working at ABC store? That's fantastic. Are you still enjoying, the house after 5 years? Hey, by any chance, did you ever pursue that career you wanted to get into? I'm becoming a teacher, a pilot, an instructor, a owner, whatever the case may be. I'm calling you to share that I now am in real estate with Keller Williams. I thought of you because I know that you would be someone to help me grow my business, especially since you know my track record and my commitment in doing the very best. I like to share my free real estate app with you. It's so easy to check what's for sale and for what price on your street, in your neighborhood, or any place in the US and Canada. I can send you a text with a link. Does that sound good? I also like to offer a real estate update on the neighborhood. You can also add additional neighborhoods you may be interested in and maybe customizing how often you receive these updates. All I need is your current address and an email, and you'll start receiving it right away. Do you mind sharing the information with me? Thank you. I am building my business on people I know and the people that they know me. Do you know of anyone from work, your neighborhood, or a group you belong to who is thinking about buying, selling, or investing? I like to be connected, and it would be a pleasure to assist in helping. If a referral, would you mind sharing their names and phone numbers or an email so I can contact them? Thank you for taking the moment and thinking about it. And please keep me in mind for any real estate needs. Do you have time to have coffee sometime soon? How about tomorrow at 4 o'clock or Thursday at 7 o'clock? Which time is better? Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you. Now, here's just a prime example of a icebreaker conversation that you can have. You start off with the Ford, right? The acronym Ford. How's the family? How's work? How are you enjoying the time with the family, especially right now with COVID, ladies and gentlemen? Did you ever pursue, if you know a little bit of history, did you ever pursue that career or, that vacation, whatever the case, or that vehicle, whatever that the means is, but it's having that conversation that ultimately starts the dialogue and the conversation that leads. Okay. Now, all this can be utilized through the command platform, folks. Okay. You got to log into your command under your agent command platform. You enter your credentials, obviously, and you start the momentum of putting and identifying everyone into your contact list, because again, the icons are very simplistic. If you go to the far left, you click on the KW red icon there, it'll pull up all the different avenues where you can approach. And that'll take you to your database where you need to be, okay? Because the goal, again, is getting you acquainted to the command platform, getting you in tune to the perspective of why you need to leverage yourself through the command platform. And it's going to be more systematic because, again, the system that helps you and allows you to generate future leads, future business, when you implement it and you plug into the command platform. Now, the Spark dialogue and the modules that we're going to be going through the motions is very simple, as I mentioned to you early on. The goal here is to get you into production, right? But not just to get you into production, but get you into production on a consistent base. Because when we look back 12 months from now, you look back of all the months, I want to make sure that, one, you have succeeded your expectations, that you did not come short, but you overshot and succeeded that year. Because going back to the consistent in your business, ladies and gentlemen, just like it is for me in my early years in real estate, is I was eager, I was hungry for this industry. And I became the rookie of the year my first years without even knowing anything. I don't know how I became rookie of the year. All I was basically a Forrest Gump. They told me what to do, and I ran with it. That's all I did, ladies and gentlemen. They gave me a stack of paperwork. I started picking up the phones. I had a script that I needed to memorize, and I just started making calls. Now, back then, it was a lot different than it is, almost 25 years later. But, the basic is still the same. The fundamentals are still the same, because everything that we do technology-wise is still not going to generate business, because that's just one layer. The layer that ultimately gets you to shake their hand to allow them to help them buy a house, sell a home, is the connection. Is when you connect with someone, when you engage in those conversations, because that'll give you the opportunity to get that listing, get that buyer into escrow. That's the beauty of it. But the goal is obviously to close the darn transaction. And that takes energy, efficiency, and progression on your position. You got to go out there and go through the whole 9 yards and then some to get to where you need to be. Remember, I guaranteed you a $200,000 salary as long as you play the field of real estate. It's committing 5 days out of the week, generating 2 hours of lead generation, doing what I say will see the end results. Guess what? You'll probably surpass the $200,000 annual. If you were to dedicate your time, as I mentioned, you'll probably make more money in sales than you would if I was to give you a $200,000 salary. Because the results are very simple, folks, okay? It's a contact sport. The more that you contact people, the more likelihood that you'll connect with someone that needs to buy, sell, and invest. That's simple, okay? Now, just to kind of close it, because I got about 30 more minutes, folks, okay? And thank you so much for allowing me to be the host to today's Ignite program, okay? There's a lot of information. I'm so excited to allow the instructors that are going to be teaching you their perspective, their wealth of knowledge, and their tricks of the trade to help you generate more business, okay? Let's just basically shut 2020, okay, and reset 2021, okay? Everyone on this call is dynamic in their own position. I'm very proud of each and every one of you for not just taking the initiative of jumping on this call and spending, a couple hours with me, but more so the respect that you have for your business, okay? The wealth of information that you're going to get from everyone on this Ignite session will really help you get a good understanding. Now, at the end of the day, okay, I got to be the bearer of bad news, okay? Because the goal is for everyone to succeed, right? My goal is that everyone on this call in the next 90 days will be in production and closing their first transaction or their second or third, okay? But let's be realistic. If you're not doing the work and you're not doing the assignments, then you're not going to see the results. You're not going to see the end results when we have this conversation in a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, because it is like anything else. It's hard. It's hard. And people will get frustrated. Agents get frustrated all the time. They get so close to the finish line and something happens, the deal closes, the deal does not close, and now you're back to square one. All the time, effort, energy that you have spent on this particular buyer, seller has gone out the door now, and you're back to resetting and going back to the beginning stages. Don't lose hope. This is the reason, folks, that you need to consistently be generating additional business, because if one falls, that's perfectly fine. If 2 falls, that's perfectly fine. If 3 falls, okay, that's perfectly fine, but you have enough in your pipeline that will help you generate the necessary business that you need. Because any entrepreneur anywhere in any type of business will tell you, it's all about consistency and generating enough revenue each and every day, each and every week, each and every month, each and every year. Because when you stop, your business stops. When your consistency is there, the momentum, you're going to be so overwhelmed and sometimes a little flustered with so much business that you come. Now comes the opportunity to put yourself. Gives you the opportunity to help someone to join your team. It helps you generate other avenues to leverage yourself. And that's when you're going to see the end results of why you got into real estate. Because when you're busy crushing it and making a 6-figure income in the industry, because that's the minimum requirement, ladies and gentlemen, is for each and every one of you to make a minimum of 6 figures, okay? Now, everyone on this call definitely has their own expectations and what they want, and that's perfectly fine. Some of us have a full-time job. I'm one that has a full-time job. I'm the team leader for this phenomenal office with amazing agents like yourselves. But you know, I leverage myself, and I ultimately still do business. I'm a licensed real estate broker, and I still love the chase of the real estate transaction. I still have a passion for it, and I love money. Okay, money definitely supplies the opportunity for us to build the wealth, the platform, because again, I'm looking at it from a long haul of my exit strategy, right? All of us on this call should be thinking about our exit strategy, what our exit is going to be like. For some of us, we have pension plans, and I'm blessed to say I have a pension plan that I generated from the County of Los Angeles when I worked for the school district for a few years. That I have some retirement, a little bit maybe from Social Security, but the leverage where I have is through real estate investing, real estate owning, okay, the income of real estate. And this is where each and every one of you, and I know some of you have phenomenal portfolios in your real estate. Some of you throughout the years have bought, hold onto real estate, and that's going to be the ultimately your exit strategy is the avenue. You cannot rely on Social Security nowadays. So how do you get to the level of multiple investments and an opportunity to make a wealth of income in this industry is you got to be a very good real estate agent, because you are what I call the star. Okay, you're the star to your own organization. You are the breadwinner, if you want to call this, to your own organization. You're the one that's going to supplement and generate the business that is necessary, because when you become a very efficient agent and you're bringing in the income, now the opportunity to buy your investment property, buy your house, buy multiple units, okay, that is going to generate some business. Or maybe you want to get into some type of other niche, another business. Real estate can supplement that. And that's the beauty. You got to be an efficient real estate agent to generate the income, because I've talked to so many different agents that are generating, you know, a quarter, half a million, $750,000 in real estate. And their passion is the hunger of finding the chase of their next deal, finding that new buyer, finding that new seller. Because now when you're looking at your bank account and realizing, my gosh, you know, I have the income there to generate, it's going back to what I said is the consistency, okay? Staying diligent and not just, oh, I got all this money, you know, I don't have to work anymore, okay? Work is, when you don't want to work anymore, that's when you're ready to retire, but you have already built that platform and that exit strategy that has taken you where you need to be. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not there, let's get on it. Let's put that reset button and start from scratch, and let's start the new year 2021 in a bang. Okay, anything that you do now will ultimately convert in 2021. It's already too late. I mean, even if you get a listing today or a buyer today, most likely it's probably not going to close this year. Why do I say that? Because we got the holidays, right? We just had Thanksgiving, and I hope everyone had a beautiful Thanksgiving. But now we have not just Christmas, we got Christmas, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then we have New Year's. You know, we already lost a couple of days. So a lot of people during this time check out. You know, we have escrows that, you know, take the time off. You know, we have lenders that take the time off. We have agents that also take the time off as well. So anything that you do now, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, will revert to 2021. So let's start the momentum. Let's start plugging in. Let's start now seeing what you need to do to ultimately see the results in 2021. I promise you one thing, folks. If you stay dedicated to this industry and you stay dedicated to what I mentioned to you of lead generation, you know, the end result will happen. Okay. You start
Simon?
Yes.
Can I ask a couple questions? I'm sorry, I was a little bit late because I was doing my prospecting. I was a little bit late. So I heard this $200,000 thing. Is this like an example? I missed that part.
Actually, it's not an example. Each and every one of the people that were on the call earlier is going to generate a salary of 200,000.
Oh, so I missed it. So should I leave?
Well, no, I don't want you to leave. But it was an example. It was an example. So here's what I said.
Uh-huh.
If I was, because all of us are on commission based, right? All of you on this call are commission based. So in order for you to generate the business, to get a commission, you got to lead prospect and lead generate. So this is what the example that I said. I said that everyone starting from today, if I was to give them a $200,000 salary. So I told them a very simple component is that you got to commit to coming in to the office either at 8 o'clock, 8:30, or 9 o'clock. So I gave them the 3 time lots to come into the office. You choose what you want. If you wanted to come into the office at 8 o'clock, if you wanted to come in at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. The next component to your salary is that you got to commit to 2 hours of lead generate, which you said that this morning you were. So I committed.
I already did an hour and a half of it. Can I have my $200,000?
It doesn't work that way. But what I'm saying is you at least did your due diligence, right? You were making your calls. And that's what I said. 2 hours of lead generate.
So do you want us to be in the office? So if we have any question, is that how it's going to work out?
Well, this was a scenario. And then
that's a fantastic idea though.
Yeah, so ultimately, once the office is renovated, because we're going to start new construction here at the office, the whole entire office is going to be renovated. We're going to have booth where you can lead prospect. We're going to have private booths, glass where you open. Remember the old school telephone booths out in the streets?
Oh, wow, that's tight.
Well, that's what we're going to have here at the office. We're going to have some booths where agents can go in there and prospect. You can stand up, you can sit down and start lead generating, because that's how you have a very successful business platform is if you stay committed. Now, I'm not saying for you to come into the office, even though I would love to, just because of COVID, this year has been very unique. But, let's go back prior to COVID. Let's go back to 2019. From your time with KW that, the office was, humming. We had
very nice. I miss it.
Sales meetings here. We had full participations. People were coming in and out. Then COVID hit this year. And then everyone was ordered to stay home. And now we have I think a shutdown again for 3 weeks. What I was saying was, what if this was a what if scenario. What if I was to give you $200,000 as a salary? You consider your position as a real estate agent as a job.
Mm-hmm. Working for someone else.
This job gave you a salary and you were paid twice a month. You were paid on the 15th, you were paid on the 30th. And then we broke it down on that $200,000, it was $16,600. So every 2 weeks, you would get $8,300 from the company. But the commitment that I needed you to do is that you needed to close 1 transaction per month. 1 transaction per month. If you close more transactions per month, even better, you would make the initial bonus from it. But the transaction that you needed to close was once a month. And if you didn't close once a month, but it was something that generated from that month, but got carried over and closed the following month, then I would count it towards your January's salary. But let's say you didn't close anything the first month or the second month, then we would be having a conversation of your probation. Because again, I'm giving you an income on a monthly basis for you to generate business. And the goal is to obviously close a minimum of 1 transaction, but ultimately I want you to close 2 to 3 transactions per month. And then we share some of the profit from the additional income. That's an incentive that would push you because you know that you have to be diligent. Mm-hmm. If you do not close, then guess what? You and I would be having a conversation And that conversation would be either put you on probation for another month. And if we don't see the results, unfortunately, I would have to release you. And that was just really the mindset to get you
Yes,
to understand that.
I understand. Accountability.
It's the accountability. Absolutely. It's all about the accountability because
Yes.
at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is, I can only hold you accountable if I had some skin in the game, right? Because I can't force you, like I said earlier, I can't force you to be here at the office. I can't force you to lead generate. I can't force you to do anything. I can only guide you, educate you, and advise you on how you want to approach this industry. At the end of the day, it's really up to you. If you desire and you're hungry for this, there's no reason why you cannot make a six-figure income. As I was saying, Banu, I was just saying it as an example of why accountability is very important to not just yourself, but also to the company. Because if I was to put those into perspective, right, then people would be like, I'm on it, because I know I have to commit on a daily basis. I got to do my lead generate, I got to do my follow-up, I got to set appointments. And if I don't, then I'm in jeopardy of losing my salary. But if you trigger your mind to alter that and think that way, then guess what? At $200,000 is nothing because you should be making $500,000 in this industry, if that. Now,
in our area.
I'm committed to each and every one of you 100%. I'm here for you 100%. Okay. But at the end is, COVID has definitely altered our position. I hate to say it. I came into the role thinking that 2020 was going to be a dynamic year for us, literally, because when I took the responsibility in the role this year, it was like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? But it's okay. We're all dealing with the uncertainty. We're all dealing with this new norm, okay? Never did I ever think that we would be in a world pandemic, not just state of California, not just the USA, but this is worldwide, ladies and gentlemen, and has impacted the entire world. And unfortunately, back in January and February, we did not anticipate, I personally did not anticipate it was going to generate and hit us the way it hit us. And then when Governor Newsom in March said, we're all shut down, stay home, we're not considered essential business, that was like an eye opener to a lot of us. And we were scrambling to try to find avenues of how we're going to touch our agent, touch our clients. We were dealing and scrambling in so many different ways and speaking with the attorneys, speaking with the California Association of Realtors, and just getting a good understanding. I was getting fed different things from different people, and I was like, okay, what is the right, what is the wrong? And then ultimately to now how we have this curriculum, ladies and gentlemen, should be done in a class setting. We should be in the classroom teaching the Ignite right in front of you. I love that opportunity to see you in person because I can engage in your conversations. I can see you. Here, unfortunately, I see a few and then half of you I cannot see. So I don't know if you're engaged or not. And sometimes, yeah, I understand we have to address emails and answer calls, but it's not the same. I'm grateful for Zoom because it still keeps me connected in our sales meetings, in our trainings on this Ignite program, but it's not the same. And who knows if next year is going to be any different. As I hear that the state of California has spiked on coronavirus again. And I'm not sure where this is going to lead, but one thing is that we're going to do any and everything to, protect each and every one of you by practicing what we need to practice here. But at the same token, do I miss each and every one of you coming into the office? Absolutely. Okay. Now it's going to get transition where now it's going to be in person and also online. We're getting the monitors, the training room updated. So that way I can have an efficient class setting and also virtual setting as well. Right now, we're not in the capability to do so. So this is why I'm in the training room, excuse me, in the conference room, hosting this lecture. But once we get the training room updated and more modernized with the system, then we're going to have in person and also virtual Zoom as well. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited for that as well. Okay, so with that, I got another 15 more minutes, folks. Okay, so bear with me. This is a 2-hour curriculum. I just wanted to kind of give you a foundation and a good understanding as we get into the Ignite program. As I mentioned, we got phenomenal instructors that are going to be teaching the platform. I'd love to see you all engage on each of the class, because every instructor is going to be teaching a different curriculum, a different topic. And the beauty is the engagement. The beauty is you can ask a lot of questions. A lot of the agents, have years of experience, wealth of information, but more so they also have production, okay? And that's the key, because when you have production, you've seen it all. A lot of you probably didn't know that I used to be the broker of record for this office. And I was a broker of record for 5 years. So it really was an eye-opener for me to really learn the craft of dynamics of the win-win avenue, the win-win solution, and how to approach real estate. This company has provided me with so much resources, and I'm blessed and I'm grateful, and I humble myself to this organization, because this office that you are with, KW South Bay Torrance office, is one of the best offices to be in. And, I remember from many, many years, and I know like Ron and Jim and Nicole, who know and been with the company, 3+5 years ago, understood the dynamics and how this office is. And it's an office that we will see again, and not just our office, all real estate companies are impacted by this, folks. Offices are not coming in because of pandemic. So rest assured, I'm looking forward to the revamping of the office and what we expect to see in the next several months. Very excited for it. So now, just to kind of close it up and just go back to my original conversation, as I mentioned, in the 23 years that I've been in this industry, folks, I'm so grateful that I've aligned myself in real estate, because my direction that I was originally going to go was in a different dynamics. It had nothing to do with real estate. If it wasn't for an injury that I had, I still would have got my real estate license, but I don't think I would have been in a position to do this as I'm doing it now. And this is the beauty that you can also as well be part of, is that you have options. As you get better and better in real estate and closing deals, you may want to transition and be in part of leadership and be a trainer, be an educator, and teach other agents. For me, it's been a phenomenal experience, because I've dealt with so many different perspectives. As a new agent, learning, being the rookie of the year, second year consistently closing deals, eventually going back to school, getting my broker's license. Then I think I was 26 or 27, I opened up my own real estate company. Had no idea what I was doing. I had no experience what I was doing, but I had the heart. I had the desire. And I knew that one way I would do okay. I would do well. And was it a challenging time in my life? Absolutely. But it kept me from progressing and pushing. And what started off with 3 real estate agents, including myself, ultimately became 25 associates. And that 25 ultimately led me to investments, where I was buying, selling, holding real estate in the early 2000s. Then the market crashed in 2008. I lost everything. I also lost the relationship with my first wife because I couldn't meet those expectations anymore. We lived a very comfortable lifestyle, had a beautiful house in the La Habra Heights area. My view of my home had the Catalina view, as I lived in the high parts of La Habra Heights. And on a clear day, I was able to see Catalina Island. I paid a substantial amount of money for that home, but at the time, I was able to qualify because I was making very well money. Then the market in 2008 crashed. I lost investments. People were not able to get qualified. Agents were not closing deals because the market was going on a backslide. Property values were going down, 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 down. Ultimately, I lost my agents because the agents could not make any more business. So they had to go find real jobs. And I was at the verge of depression. Okay, and I speak truthful to you here on this call, and I speak, being very transparent. Because again, all of us have our own reason and why we go through what we go through. So not just the separation and the pressure of making ends meet. I couldn't continue making my own mortgage payments, and I was at the verge of being homeless and having the conversation with my parents and moving in with the family. I had a wife and I had two stepdaughters. And I was at the verge of moving into my own bedroom with the family. And, it was really the depression that got the best of me because I was at a very dark time in my life. And, I had built a successful business and I felt invincible. I felt that I had achieved. And then when the market crashed, it was like I was knocked down on my knees. But it gave me a perspective to be in a position of humbleness and ultimately revamp my way of thinking. And that's when I just switched my hat and went back to the basic fundamentals, folks. I literally went back to the basic fundamentals. And what did I do? I started prospecting again. Because I thought, gosh, you know what? I became a business owner of my own real estate organization. I had 25 sales associates working for me. I was making substantial income. I was investing in property, flipping property, holding real estate. I had owned some apartment complex in Ontario. There was just so much going on, and I was like at the top of the hill, and then all that just went down. I literally had to go back to the basic fundamentals. I had to eat my pride and just go out there and prospect. I started doing open houses. They were not even my listings. I just started doing what I needed to do. What I learned in the midst of 1990s is go back to the basic fundamentals. And little by little, I started. Then I met my second wife. And, she was kind of like the pillar to say, well, with the years of knowledge and your trials and tribulations of what you experienced, why don't you get into management or leadership and give back to the agents? So she kind of put a perspective because I was a one-man show. I was literally myself and one agent that to this day is still working under my team. And, that's when I went out and started kind of looking out and revamping my resume, and that's when the opportunity came to join this phenomenal organization as you are part of, Keller Williams. I was the broker of record for several years here, and it was an eye-opener, and it was just a phenomenal position because, again, it helped me align myself to really understand, and I know Nicole's on this call. Nicole and I, we used to do contract classes every week, and Nicole was just a blessing in disguise because she was consistent in helping me achieve those classes. And the training room was, literally full with agents, learning the contracts, learning negotiations, and learning how to put things into perspective. And I have to say that Nicole was part of that experience. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for all of you as well. But that's really the real reason I got into leadership, because I've been a true believer that when you give back in return. And it's been a phenomenal. Never in my wildest dream that I ever thought I would come back to Keller Williams as a team leader, but I'm here, and I'm here for the long haul, and I'm here to provide you with all the necessary avenues to succeed in this industry. We're revamping the office. We're also re-engaging the way we see things come 2021. So I'm looking forward to seeing what 2021 has to offer, but I know it's going to be a whole lot better than 2020 because we're really prepared for it. And all I want to see is all of you strive as well, from Debbie to Yolanda to Max to Richard and everyone on this call, because again, it's a team effort. When we all succeed, we all win. When we are in all together, we all win. And the beauty of this organization and the beauty of Keller Williams is that, we don't hide anything. We're here as a support factor. You can talk to any of our agents, and guess what? They'll take time of their daily schedule and help you and guide you with any questions. Now, there's been a lot of changes with Keller Williams. So many changes that I've lost track, but the changes are always for the right reasons. Okay. And I'm blessed to say that I have such a phenomenal staff, a good support factor. We're getting a new broker as well. And, the phenomenal agents that are going to be spearheading this educational Ignite program as well. So with that being said, any last ahas before we close it down?
No ahas, but I will say this is going to be a great year for people to make money and get out there and get it. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm bringing some people over to the office right now, and I'm excited about them getting trained.
Love it, Ron. So Ron is one of our newest additions to our office. Not new in the industry, many years of experience, wealth of knowledge, and I'm so excited to have you on board. So thank you, Ron, and Ronnie as well, who is his son, who are going to be part of our team. So we're very excited for that as well.
Pop your head up, Ronnie, so people can see you. Yeah, you guys are entering, for the new people, you're entering into an exciting field. One thing I'll tell you is I've been in this industry for over 30 years. Not one day did I ever think I was going to work. And it's a phenomenal business. It helped me to semi-retire out at a really young age. And there's nothing like real estate.
Absolutely. I concur with that as well. So, all right. So I hope that in the 2 hours, and again, thank you guys. Thank you so much for hanging in there. I know 2 hours can be a long time to be on a Zoom call, but I really appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that, just the fundamentals of what I provided you today will make you think a little, make you think and change your way of doing things, okay? But at the end is, what do you feel different? What was meaningful that you think you'd like to share in today's lecture? And I'm giving it and I'm opening it up to anyone that would like to just kind of share their thoughts.
Simon, can I say one thing? I hopped on late, and I've trained many people in real estate to make lots of dollars. But everything Simon has said, if you listen, you will make money. Guaranteed. If you listen, if you do what you're supposed to do through the Keller Williams system, you will be successful. If you do it your way, you're going to have a rocky road.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ron, for sharing.
Can I add one little thing? Because I'm a new agent, as you know, and I think this will be really helpful to the other ones who are here and they're newer than me. I believe that until I had my schedule done properly for my day and then carved out that 1, 2, 3, whatever the hours that you want to prospect and however you want to prospect. I'm more like an on the phone person. I like talking to people. It doesn't matter. And I cannot go out and knock on doors anyway. So it just, until I figured that out and perfected, it really was difficult. You don't know when to call, what to do, and then I'm not an afternoon person because I feel like I'm done with the day. So it's really important to start early, study what you need to study before you even open your mouth to anybody, because it really changed the way I started talking to people. I have to say, I am following Mike Ferry, and it just changed a lot of things. Study the objections and the scripts. It's just going to be so much easier. All of a sudden, I feel like after 5 months, I am in a better place to, without any hesitation, pick up the phone. That's my job every day, 2-3 hours. I have to call. There's no other way.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. And that's where you're going to see the end results. It's a contact sport, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to say this, but that's the only way that you're going to see the results of a transaction. Is that when you're out there connecting with people, you'll know their motivation. If they're in the position to buy, in the position to sell or invest. I do it on a constant basis. For me, it's like, who is my next target? When I'm out and about meeting new people, I'll give you a prime example, folks. I was at a what do they call it? They call it a revealing party. Like like a gender revealing party. Never been to one, but a couple weeks ago I was one over the weekend. And it's basically to find out, if the baby is going to be a boy or a girl. But the person that invited me has friends and family, and I started connecting with so many people on that event, that I got 2 potential leads from it. That one wants to get into real estate, the other one wants to buy something. That it really just defines the opportunity, and it's like I got the best of 2 worlds: one that wants to buy, one that wants to get into real estate. So that gave me a perspective of guiding them and having that conversation. You just never know. You just never know when your next deal is gonna happen. So you got to be proactive, folks. You got to be proactive. So Nicole, you have a question?
Well, I just wanted to say, you guys give a lot of insight, and that helps the agents go out on the field with the education that you provide, and a lot of your, even down to your team meetings. So continuing to just show up and get all the tidbits that are timely will help everyone to understand what topics they can bring to their sphere, whoever they're going to call that week. There's a lot of different opportunities. Even I have Title Tuesday once a week. If you guys don't have things to do on Tuesday, 1 o'clock, we're giving a lot of suggestions, a lot of education for an agent to go right out on the field with. Even there, once a week, you got something to at least go to collect some information, to go out with. We give you the answers. Simon does it in his team meeting. There's other vendors that offer things that you can go and grab topics that are timely. We're giving you guys all the answers to really go out and connect with. So just fill yourselves up with as much as you can, because then you won't be able to keep quiet. And that's really where I think I'm at. And I think it's a fun place to be, because you don't feel like you're working. You're just helping.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole.
You bet.
Awesome. All right. Anyone else?
I just wanted to say, Simon, that I'm excited to be here. And I was waiting for this 4-week training opportunity to happen. And I know when I had signed on, I had missed it, but I'm so glad to be here. At this moment, it's just being a new agent, I'm green to it all. But I think the exciting thing is knowing that I'm going in with new technology and having to understand technology, and not being hindered as previous agents. Maybe it's a little bit more difficult transferring over to the technology. But for me, I'm excited about it. And yeah, I'm glad to be here, and I'll be showing up.
I love it. By the way, I love the background too.
Yay. Yeah, I've been in there just kind of moving around and learning my way through all the different systems and getting into command. I'll be learning that too. So every day for me, I'm making sure that I somehow touch real estate. And that's either learning how to use command, learning how to use MLS, but every day as a new agent, I'm touching something with real estate.
I love it. Thank you so much, Yolanda, for sharing.
Simon, you answered Debbie's question regarding the dropping off some marketing materials. This is not like mailing out, right? It's just dropping it off. So we're restricted really by that. Not that I have done it, but I did.
So right now, there's still a restriction when it comes to dropping. Now, but you can mail it out, and you can have the mail carrier, because they're considered somewhat essential to deliver mail. So that gives us the loophole to allow us to drop marketing material. Now, I've gotten so many questions regarding, can we physically drop marketing material? The answer is yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no is because we've been getting a lot of backlash from the homeowners, that they don't feel comfortable. They don't want us to drop any marketing material, because of COVID. So this is where the sensitivity happens. Now, this is the avenue where if you're going to drop marketing material, then the best way to do so is do it via U.S. Postal Service. Just so that way it can be delivered. You don't get any backlash, because right now people are so sensitive when it comes to dropping any materials. You don't want to be on a situation or cornered in a conversation that can be like very negative, because then that'll put a damper into your day. For us, it's, the motivation, the excitement, and we want to go out there. But right now with the 3-week shutdown, I think it's just best that you don't do it. Now, I haven't heard any updates as of yet, but if we cannot do open houses, then most likely we cannot, pass out material as well, door to door. Okay, but that's a very good question. All right, cool. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. We are going to have our sales meeting this Wednesday at 12 o'clock. So hopefully I can see you all on the call. That concludes our day. So be watching for the next Ignite program with our next instructor, okay? So take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys, see you later.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Thank
Great seeing
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for hanging in there for 2 hours. You guys are awesome.
Easy.
Easy.
Thank
You guys are awesome. Thanks, Max. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Nicole. Thanks, Manu. Thanks,
for
Yolanda.
coming.
Richard.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.